And good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Jedi Academy. If you're wondering what this is a Q&A show for Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. And I am Ranger J 1999, part of the RSG crew. You're watching this on Reality Skewed Gamers. And we do this every Saturday where we bring the best and the brightest of YouTubers and game changers together. And we will answer all your questions. If you have a question, well, how do you get your question answered? All you need to do is put it in chat. Make sure you put the word question in front of it. And then Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, the Troll Extraordinaire, will scoop it up and he will put it in there and we will add it to the queue and get it answered by our great panel. And let's meet our panel today. First of all, we do have Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman here.
Good morning.
Dr. Finn came over to my place the last couple days and he didn't bring his porg or anything, so I don't have any violence toward his porgs, but overall I think it was a good visit. Dr. Finn has nothing to say. That's what
You're supposed to agree with that, Finn, even though if you
I'll let you think that it was a good visit. There you go.
Okay. That voice you just heard, of course, is the Canadian herself, the maple syrup addict, T Money G.
Good morning.
Good morning. Also joining us, we have the great one himself, Warrior from Warrior Presents.
Oh!
Flash! Flash! He'll save every one of us. Also joining us, we have the light side representation of the Force. We have Jedi Master Dastra.
Good morning.
How dare you say good morning to me? It's the dark side. And of course, last but not least, we have the one and only good old Maurice.
Hey guys, T-Money was running a little late today. Didn't have time to drop me off to daycare. I'll try not to break anything.
Well, you guys are kind of becoming a package deal. Now we also have the big deal himself, Grande Patron, but I don't know how long he can be here today.
Yeah, I know my phone's going to break up because I'm driving again. And so I didn't want to have one of these robo moments.
Yeah, we've had quite a lot of those lately. You're always on the road, man. You're like the road warrior. I'm going to start calling you Mel Gibson. We don't need another hero.
We need another hero.
It's pretty bad. I think I put 15,000 miles on.
Can you just go to your home? Are you too good for your home?
Whenever you're driving a third of the United States between the place where you used to live and the place where you live now, kind of a big deal.
Because Grande's now living in my old...
For anybody listening that doesn't know the size of the United States, it's like driving across Europe 15 times, minimum.
Grande does it all the time. That's what he chooses to have a sugar mama. That's not all I can think about. Alright, let's see here. So, the way it works, remember, if you guys have questions, go ahead and get those in. Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, will start scooping those up. Not a lot going on this week. Nothing much happening. We had territory battles.
Finally.
No hint at anything coming.
No hints or anything like that.
No. Yeah.
See the Jabba the Hutt blob? It was a blob of pixels. It's Jabba the Hutt.
I think it's Crumb just posting a picture of himself. It's just going to be Crumb coming into the game.
Oh, you mean Salacious B. Crumb. Okay, I'm sorry. The dev. I'm sorry.
No, I meant both.
I just thought it was Japanese porn.
No, Grande! And it's called hentai, alright? Damn, man. I don't even know what it's called. God.
Rutabaga.
That's not a rutabaga term, that's what it's called.
No, we're not going down that line at all. Jedi Academy.
Yeah, listen, you brought him on here, he's your responsibility, you clean his messes up.
Bad Grande.
And he got all quiet. Oh, there he is. Delayed laughter. God. But the blob could be anything. It could be what was it? Voltron. It could be Skeletor. We don't know what that is.
My vote is Skeletor. That would be amazing.
Oh my god.
Do you want to talk about it though? Because a lot of the questions are already kind of based around that.
Well, we'll scoop them out.
No, I'm Skeletor.
I'm an evil villain from Masters of the Universe. Cashew, hey man.
Oh, Ouchie's throwing down the gauntlet in the chat. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
What she said? What did Ouchie say?
He will Zeta Dooku.
If it's not Jango.
Skeletor?
Wait,
No,
who's gonna say this, Dooku?
So technically, yes. If it's Skeletor, she will end up unlocking and Zetaing her Dooku. So,
Oh wow.
please get Skeletor in the game.
That's how confident Ouchie is. You go, girl. Or she just secretly does want Dooku now, too.
Yeah, she's just trying to find a way to get it without
She's
looking
always
like
wanted
she's
to.
changed
That's
her
why-
points. Yeah.
Yep. Same thing with Jedi training Rey, right? She went all this time like resisting, and then it's like, oh, now I have to do it for phase 1. But secret, she loved it.
Yeah. Oh no, I have to have a good character and use it and be participatory. Oh no. My rebel image has gone down the drain.
She's gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get us
Ouchie's
all
gonna
in
kill
trouble.
The views expressed by Ranger Infinity do not express Ranger Infinity.
Actually, no, I meant what I just said. Oh no, that was me. I don't care.
No, not me. My views represent Ranger. That's it.
Well, I'm not taking you to combat anymore, Finn. God dang it. Firefight. Ranger, go over that way. That's the battle, right? Yeah.
I'll stand right here with my bottle of water.
That's right. He'll be there with his bottle of water and Porg, and I'm over there running around, throwing grenades, shooting stuff, and Finn's like, "Good job, Ranger." I don't want the enemy to think that I'm against them. I'll stay here, neutral. Call me Sweden. So I mean, what do we think it is? I know certain people.
I'll just say it right now. So if you look at it, right? So I actually just put it on our Twitter a little while ago because I was playing around with it on Photoshop.
Mm-hmm. What did you come up with, Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman?
It looks like it's Django. And there's like a couple of pictures and stuff. Like, so I played around with it. I de-blurred it. I was kind of playing around with it, and I didn't alter it until like the final image. So it's kind of, you can see it in like the 3-step process that I kind of did using filters and then putting in the kind of the overlay of a character.
All right, CSI, Jesus.
Hmm?
You heard me. I said, all right, CSI.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm trying to figure out what it is, and so it looks like it's Django. It looks like he's holding up like one of his guns with his left hand, and he's firing one with his right hand, and that's kind of the red stuff that's coming out on the side, which is just the shot from the blaster. So it looks like it's Django, for all intents and purposes. Now, when I looked at it initially, so maybe this is the whole like Rorschach test type thing. This is just me personally. It looked like it could have been like the dark colors were the color of Anakin's robes, and then the white would have been Padme. So it was like a picture of Anakin hugging Padme, and then it was going to be Padme that's coming into the game. But that was more Rorschach for me and wanting Geonosis Padme in the game.
Breaking my heart.
Yeah, that's just definitely more me. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be Django, and then when you couple it with the post on Reddit, it looks like it's going to be a marquee event, which is disappointing, but
He's not a legendary character. I've been saying it forever. He's a good character to have in the game.
They should have made him a legendary with just bounty hunters and simplified it. I mean, that would have at least made use of some of all the crazy number of marquees we had. But I think that's where I am essentially looking at it, is pretty much Django.
Anybody else have a thought on this? No.
I'm looking for the post. Is it on Twitter? Did you post your stuff on Twitter?
The picture that I put up, yeah, it's on our Twitter. I can put it in the Skype chat if you just kind of want to see a little image thing that I put together as I transitioned.
Reddit's been nerding out on Photoshop too. It's been
I know,
fun.
So that's the I put it in Skype now for you guys, so that's the one that I just put. Where I was trying to figure out what it is, but it looks like it turns out to be Django, just with the way that the design and everything is. I mean, it could be obviously wrong, and when you Photoshop, things can go awry, but it does look like Django, and then, yeah. So, that's just the guess.
Anybody else?
Adastra, do you think that it could be a Jedi?
No, it's too dark.
It's too dark.
There's no halo around the top.
Yeah, you know.
What if it was Revan?
Like, Revan, you know, everyone's helping him.
Don't joke like that, Finn.
Like saying, you know, it's a hooded, you know, Sith and has the little tint of the red lightsaber. It's like, yep, that's a lot of wishful thinking going on there.
Our Lord.
Yeah, I'm in the Django camp. It's a lot of good evidence points to him. So we'll see. I'm hoping then a Zam rework will follow if it is him. She's the last one that needs some love.
What if that you get Django as a marquee, and then there is a journey for Zam, and I don't know where the hell her journey goes, but I'm just saying.
Why the hell would we have a journey for Sam?
I don't know why we would have it, but I'm just saying, what if? The worst hypothetical there. Instead of a rework for Zam, let's just put out a new Zam and a journey. Have fun.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
I like the silence that followed that.
so I know we're talking a lot about, you know, which character is and whatever, but I think there's actually a bigger picture item here, and that is that it feels like the bounty hunter faction in general with their payouts has really been turned into the PvE faction, the player versus the environment faction. And so it's highly likely that this kit that's going to come out is going to even augment that some more. The battles are almost too short in PvP to really get the payout train up and running. But the way contracts and payouts work, if the battle's longer than 2 or 3 minutes, or it has multiple phases to it, it sure feels like that with the payouts and contracts, and especially with Aura Singh, that you have this faction almost set up as, hey, if you farm this faction, you will do well in the PvE content.
Do you think, Grande, there's a chance that Django is going to have a synergy with bounty hunters and clones, and possibly provide them a both factions a bonus?
I mean, he'd have to have the clone tag, right? Clone trooper, and he's not a clone trooper, and so
That's not necessarily true. Ahsoka Tano has a leader that does Night Sisters and Jedi.
You're right. So does Kit Fisto, not Kit Fisto, Plo Koon.
Well, he was never a clone, for one, like Ronnie said. Two, he never fought on the side of the clones or the clone armies. I mean, technically, you can make Booba a clone because he is one.
I'm not
Grande.
energy.
You're cutting in and out, Grande.
Damn it already.
Well, you're speaking. You're not Roboto, but you just got out. So
But they're like him.
Okay.
The clones are him.
But hey, bounty hunters can be used in arena though. They aren't strictly, PvE, just so you know.
sure, you can use bounty hunters in PvP, and you can drop 100 points overnight.
Well, yeah, you don't have to leave. Don't leave.
Oh well, yeah, don't leave him on defense. Okay, I see
You
what
can
you're saying.
take off.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Is what I meant.
yeah.
I'm just saying that the turn meter generation comes out of Boba Fett, right? I mean, for the most part. So you're not gonna. That's where the majority of your turn meter generation from a leader comes from. So I'm not saying you can't use them. I mean, you can use anything you want in arena. We're just trying to have someone be successful. What I'm saying though is that it's still a good faction to farm if you want to do well in raids, if you want to do well in TW, the team seems like it really makes sense.
Well,
It will be interesting.
It will be interesting.
And I've linked in. All right. Let's see. Are the questions starting to come in, Dr. Finn?
Yep.
Okay. So let us get ready to start doing the questions. Let me look here. All right. Where is it?
And keep them questions coming in. Just make sure you start off with writing question, and it'll be picked up by the bot, and then we can start adding them to our queue.
All right. So our first one, start the list. Warrior, work our way down. Warriors from JLY9. Question: after Arena Team, which tunes would benefit the most from 6E mods? I'm thinking Crew would be one with a 6E health circle and cross. Are there any others?
So the first set, this is very similar to like just mods in general. The first thing I tell people when they're starting out in the game and they unlock mods and they start modding characters is characters in your arena team should be modded first. Like those, that's the most important because that's your payout, that's your payroll, and that's what's going to generate crystals. And then after that comes ships and the crew members because that's your second payout. And then after that, third comes your raid teams that you're using because those teams are going to get you the rewards you need to actually gear the characters up to then circulate. It's all circulates and they help each other. So those are the three in the priority that I would suggest because even raids aren't a guarantee. You could do really well in the raid and still other people could beat you out and lose your raid. So it to me is third fiddle to your arena team and your crew members. So with the 6-dot mods, it's important as well to really focus on your arena team and then go your crew members. Now, I will say there is a debate about the crew members being first, and I can see that side of things. I can see the people's opinions on that, and the reason is I have a bunch of people in my arena that have 6E mods already, and I have one set. One set, and they have like 5 characters because they went crazy, doing refreshes and all of this stuff. Cool. Well, I can beat them all easily still. So it hasn't been a difference maker for them. And so because of that, I can see people saying, well, then where would it be a bigger difference maker? Well, in ships, you're getting now, mods have been restructured. When Mods 2.0 launched, a lot of people don't know this, but they were restructured. Now every mod color actually gives a different amount of GP. It wasn't that way before. It was either a 5-dot mod or a 4-dot mod or a 3 and a 5-dot mod got the most GP versus a 4-dot mod. But now a 5-dot mod blue gives different GP than a 5-dot gold. So you can actually make your ships faster, healthier, and hit harder by rolling those mods on those crew members up. And in ships, when 2 speed makes all the difference in the world, going with Thrawn and putting 60 mods on your Thrawn, or let's say you're using Grand Moff Tarkin's Executrix, putting those mods on there on him is going to make a massive difference in comparison to the regular arena. So the original train of thought of arena, then ship, crew, then raid teams is still kind of there and present, but I could definitely see people, especially people who care about ships, swapping that priority. If people want to know what Warrior's doing, Warrior is actually working on Thrawn because right now I'm using Thrawn's Chimera with my ship's arena team, and I want to get his ship to go before the other chimeras, so that are in my ship's arena. So I have to get some 6E mods on him to do that. So I'm working on farming the 6E stuff over time, and I'm telling you, I use all my guild currency to buy the 3 at a time of that 6E stuff. It takes a week of buying it, or it takes multiple refreshes. Over a 3 or 4 day period of time to get enough to do one mod. So you got to be really hyper vigilant about picking that. piece up.
All right. Let's get to the next question here. We will go to good old Maurice. Tim Better question. What's the speculation on the pixelated blob? Could it be Bounty Hunter Leia?
Sure. I have no idea. I do remember long ago they used to give the hints on the forum, right? And the hints did used to be way more obvious. Like you could literally copy and paste it into Google and it'd pull up verbatim, like the word for word, like on the character's Wikipedia page. So this one is far less obvious, and I'm not very good at playing detective. I guess you probably so. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So you have no idea.
Yeah, that's a pretty lame answer. I apologize for my debut answer on the show. I really, sorry guys, let you down.
I hope that it is. That way,
You
Ouchie
probably
has
should have another question.
What's that?
I said, to be fair, he should probably get another question. A speculation question that's already been asked already once, kind of, is, just a variant of it's not really a good start. give him something else.
Well, I gave him a snowball. It's not my fault that he's a wuss.
I'll talk to him afterwards.
All right, well, let's go.
Can I hope that it is Bounty Hunter Leia, just so Ouchie has to Zeta and max out her Dooku?
Yeah, there you go. All right, we'll give you another question here.
Bounty Hunter Leia would be pretty cool, I gotta say. That'd be a really good addition.
That would be a firm pay to play for me.
Variations of the same character everybody likes.
Consider piggy banks.
Mm-hmm. Except the one
seems
variation that they're never going to put in the game.
All right. Question from Sith Gorilla. Good old Maurice. We'll give you another one here. Do you think the game economy and value to its players is in a good place? I like most things except for the cost of the new tunes, the $12.99 crystal packs.
I do think some of these packs have been a tremendous value recently, like the Scoundrel, the Han Solo Scoundrel pack. That pack was a pretty good value. That was a good one. There was any of the dollar amount packs are generally pretty good for the money. Again, I'm not a big marquee purchaser either, but it's far better than it used to be. Like these they would release a character like, "Hey guys, clone troopers are coming into the game, exclusive to Chromiums." So I do think it's a little better that we can at least get the character, play around with it, kind of a try before you buy, unlike the old days where they would announce a character, they look real great, and you really just have to go all in on Chromiums to get them, to test them. And then, you get 3-star character at a Chromium, it takes you 5 Chromiums to get it, and you fool around with it, you don't like it, you're kind of stuck, but I think it's in a good spot. It's just a lot of stuff, just a lot of stuff. You just have to be patient and or wise with your purchases.
All right, do you feel better now, the good old Maurice? You're able to get a good question in?
I don't know. You guys tell me.
Oh, goddamn it.
Did he pass?
Oh, for God's sakes. I'm moving on. All right, next one is to Jedi Master Adastra. This is from Bing Skymaster. Question. I have my boss 7-star Zeta lead. What is the best bounty hunter lineup, and any more Zetas needed for that?
All right. There's a few good ones. One of the best ones I've noticed, because I've been kind of researching this too, I've built up my bounty hunters recently, and I've noticed that, the boss lead, that's obviously going to be your most solid one, for the survivability and just general awesomeness. And obviously you have the Zeta. And then Bubba, you definitely want Bubba on that team because he's your high damage dealer. He can one-shot the enemy units potentially. Then you want Dengar on there. He's a really good one. Since his rework, he is amazing. Like his AoE, all those throws, all and then it'll help get your payouts with the AoEs is also useful. And then Greedo, you definitely want him there. He can potentially just mow someone down if he's feeling in a good mood. He just, over and over kill someone for you. Or he can be a jerk and just hit once. You never know with him.
Bastard.
And then Embo, he is one of the best fifth one that you can have on there. And he is viable at the lowest star level. He can be G3, 3-star G11, and he can still kick butt. And then as Zeta priority, Bosk's second Zeta is a really good one, again, to help with the survivability of the squad so he can get his taunt up again. Greedo's Zeta is a really good one too. I'm assuming, say you had all the Zetas in the world to just throw on these guys. Greedo's Zeta is so good because it'll guarantee a stun, and that's very useful against everything except Traya squads, pretty much. To have a guaranteed stun, and he can also, just murder them. And yeah, I wouldn't say any other Zetas are needed. I know some people that are huge bounty hunter enthusiasts, they just throw everything on there. But for me, that would just be setting it up right there. Those 3 Zetas, you're golden. And just mod them appropriately, and you'll just be rocking it, either on PW defense, offense, arena, you can kind of take on stuff. That's... obviously, if you're full of Treyas, good luck. Don't try that. But otherwise, it can have fun with them.
All right. Next question for T Money. Let me look here. Nathaniel Miller. That's a question, T Money, and is: have you all paid proper homage to T Money, the Grand Master of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes trivia?
No, they have not, Nathaniel.
Who asked that question? Who asked that question?
That was Nathaniel Miller.
Oh, Mr. Miller. I remember this.
Making a list.
So just to expound on this a little bit, so everyone knows what we're talking about. Last night on Shattered Ordered podcast, good old Maurice and I were on as guests, and there's trivia at the end, always.
Yes.
Yeah, and my score was 7,500, and what was yours, good old Maurice?
I would like to ask you to mind your business. 2,000. 2,000. I got 2 questions correct. T-Money got them all correct. It embarrassed both Link and I. So I had a real hard time waking up this morning, honestly.
And you call yourself a Sith.
Way to go, T-Money.
Oh, she crushed it.
Thanks.
I
might have studied for it.
Well, you
She
know what
sent me
it's
a
from. It's
screenshot.
for
She's
me
like,
making her.
pages of
It's
scribble preparing for this quiz. I was like,
no,
oh,
it's me making her research stuff. So every time T Money would ask me a question back in the day, I'm like, go Google it. In fact, I want to report on it. I don't want to do that. Well, then I'm not going to answer your question. Next thing I know, T Money's like, I did read and watch that video about Revan.
Exactly true. Yeah, well, it's something I've been wanting to do for a while for Jedi Academy. It's just to go through all of the kits and just read them, because even if you read characters that you've been using for a while or used to use a ton, it's like, oh, hey, there's like a little snippet that I didn't realize was happening, and that makes sense. And I've just kind of overlooked it because you just start using them and you don't necessarily know the details. So I went through all of the kits and read them, and may have took a few notes. So
Nice.
that's fun.
That's awesome.
Can I have another question though?
No.
Please.
Let me do one for good old Maurice. Trivia master. Oh, yes, I had one ready. Captain Blackbeard, question: how do you have your mod load up tabs set up?
I have one tab with 4 characters on it right now. So I'm not using mod loadouts a ton. I have to sit down and really go through them. For me, I don't want to necessarily build loadouts because I'm remodding everything with the new mod rework. I just did Nest. I'm super excited about her. I'm gonna stick her in arena as soon as I climb up here. And she's slower. She's 273, but she's got 54,000 health on her. So I'm curious. A lot of times when I'm fooling around in arena, I'll have I'll be playing and Nest will be the last one standing, and I'm just curious. I wanna see how that works with. I'll ask some of my shard mates to go with Magma Trooper against her and see, because she's hard to take out, and that's probably double the health I had on her before. So I'm just
pure evil.
I am pure evil.
Yeah, that's a lot of health.
54,000 health. You're telling people that the only way to kill her is Nihilus.
Exactly.
The only way to kill her is Nihilus. Now, you have effectively screwed everybody on your shard.
Yeah,
that's
except
really awesome, by the way.
Grandmaster Yoda. And so I might even put like an EP lead in there, now that I'm just thinking out loud, because then it's going to tempt people to go Bastila, and so they won't have Nihilus on their team, and it might surprise them and kind of annoy them maybe a couple times in a row, and then they'll avoid me. That's what Arena's about, is just kind of like, like be a little bed bug, just make them lose once or twice, and then it's like, I don't want to look into that team, and so they just avoid. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and then I made a mod loadout of her, and I've made some of my Thrawn and my Talzin, and I've just kind of gone through, and the ones that I really like, the mod setups that I really like, that are really specific, Magma Trooper, I've taken mod loadouts of them, but not enough to set everything up. But I'll probably do raids, arena, TW is, and TW and arena might be very, very, arena will be small, like there won't be a ton of stuff there. 15 loadouts. TW might be more. But yeah, I don't want to switch around a ton. I kind of feel with this mod update that I'm going to get some really solid, I'm ready within my roster to get some really solid setups on my tunes now, and then I won't really have to do a lot of moving around, except for, maybe mythic events that are tough, and I want to get past those, or the raid for sure. I'd like to kind of be more consistent in the raid. I've been pretty lazy with the raid, so I love PvP a lot more than PvE, so that's where I focus my time.
All right. Next question, back up top to Warrior. Get this going. From Eternal Revan. Question: I have a 20 speed crit damage offensive set triangle on my Traya currently. Is it wasted on her if I've only been able to get special crit chance to 29%?
Has a triangle of crit damage or offense? Well, say that again, please.
It says I have a 20 speed crit damage offense set triangle on my Traya currently. Is it wasted on her if I've only been able to get her special crit chance to 29%?
Yes and no. So, theoretically, yeah, she's not going to crit more than likely, because your crit chance is too low on special damage, so she's not going to crit, so crit damage is kind of wasted. But it's an offense set, which does benefit her, and it's 20 speed, which does benefit her. And if she does crit on that off chance 1 out of 5 times she does crit, you'll get significantly more damage because of the multiplier. So yes, I hear what he's saying. You're right. In theory, if you could find a better mod that was like an offense triangle, or even a crit chance triangle, something that would for sure give her benefit consistently 100% of the time, like an offense or something, then yeah, that would be the better way to go. But if the speed and part of the offense set's the only offense triangle you have for the set that's available, then it is what it is. Modding is one of those funny things where there's perfect best case scenario, and then there's what we have. So you got to kind of stay in your lane and choose what you have. But yes, your theory or your thought process is correct. You definitely kind of throwing that away on her as far as a primary stat goes, but the mod set and the secondary sound solid for her. So you're just going to have to see if you can find something that's like that mod but with a better primary, or if you just have to stick with it.
All right. Next question will go to good old Maurice. This is from Captain Obvious. Question: offense or potency cross mod for Palpatino? Well, I guess apparently Palpatine went to becoming an Italian person now. So Palpatino, offense or potency cross mod for him?
I guess in Arena, I would probably favor offense, but you are going to need a little survivability, so you kind of want to check the secondary stats on those. I like offense. It kind of the same thing as the Trey question. He's got very, very low special crit chance, so crit damage isn't going to do him much good. Offense is definitely the offensive way to go on him. A lot depends on your shard. You know, the popular build for a lot of these Nihiluses now are starting to favor a lot of tenacity, so you might need a little potency to overcome that and you know, stun the other characters. It's kind of shard dependent. I like offense.
All
It's
right.
just me. I like offense on everybody though. So I like fast and hard hitting characters opposed to slow and tankier ones, I guess.
Next question, we'll go to Lady Adastra from David Lee. Question: if you have prepared BH Trio all ready for Territory Wars, where would you put Nest for her overall effect? Or Nest overall effect?
Like where best to put Nest, you mean?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Nest
Best for
effect.
Nest.
Good question. I mean, she is just a beast and can sub with so many different squads. Now, I wish you had put offense or defense, because that would really affect the answer as well. So, most likely you're probably meaning defense, though, I think. I'll just assume that. Sorry if I'm wrong. But yeah, she's a fast Nest is a good deterrent to so many different things. Now with the Triumph, you don't really need her there because they already have so much going for them, you know, versus those other two that you listed. I mean, the Triumph, you can throw in pretty much any two characters, whereas the Bounty Hunter and the Prepared Squad is more limited in what you can add to strengthen them. So between those three, you definitely would consider Bounty Hunter or the Prepared to throw Nest on. And now that'll come down to how well you have everyone. Like if you have all the key characters, you know, you might be missing one. I mean, I wish there was more context to this. I mean, I just have to assume you have everything maxed, you know, or but Nest with the Prepared is a most common one, I would think. She just, you know, scoundrel. She fits so well with them, you know, as the fifth, you know, the key attacker. You know, your Prepared Squad, your core is going to be Kira, L3, Vander, and then it's just plus any two that you have available there. And Nest plugs in very well there. You know, so I mean, limited info there. I'm sorry, but out of those three, I would say just Prepared based on the limited context there. That she fits so well with them.
Okay. Very nice. All right, next question to T-Money. This is from Mr. Penny Pinch. Question: I need a scoundrel team for Heroic Sith Raid with young Han. I don't have any of the other solo scoundrels to 7 stars yet, so I need a different team. Any ideas?
Sorry, so he doesn't have the characters, but he wants a different scoundrel team?
Yeah, he says, I need a scoundrel team for Heroic Sith Raid with young Han. I don't have any of the other solo scoundrels to 7 stars yet, so I need a different team. Any ideas?
This might be one of those ones that I pass on. There's certain ones that yeah, please, thank you. There's ones that I don't like answering questions and giving bad advice, and that's not a team I run. So, please, thank you, Ad Astra.
Trivia person, my ass. You should know everything, T-Money.
I know, you gotta study up more, T.
Damn it, T. This makes good old Maurice even look worse.
You don't actually need any others. any other solo or scoundrels with young Han. McMull came out.
Yeah, no solo
then.
characters, but just scoundrels in general.
Yeah. All you need is an Admiral Akbar lead, CLS, BB-8, Kermit Yoda, and young Han, and you can solo the hat. That's all you need.
All right, well that's nice, but we need heroic Sith here. So anybody for heroic Sith, please speak up. He wants a heroic Sith raid team.
Oh, I thought you said hat. I'm so sorry. I heard the H and I thought.
I did not.
Okay. Disregard that. Sorry. Totally misheard that. So it was for the heroic Sith. He doesn't have any others except Han. Is what it did.
I don't think he has any of the scoundrels, but he's building a team maybe. So he wants to have some other scoundrels. He wants to gear up some scoundrels, like some regular old scoundrels, Mustache Lando, Stormtrooper Han, bounty hunters. I mean, can we count bounty hunters as scoundrels? That's kind of cheating, but
I was gonna say we need more context.
They are. I always feel like when people talk about scoundrels, they're meaning scoundrels *, not bounty hunters.
Yeah.
I don't know about for the raid, but I mean, if you're wanting to work on scoundrels, the first one you need to work on is Kira. She makes them all better. Every single
if you're
one of them.
building it, you're gonna need the Kira lead.
Yeah. Kira is amazing. She's a great character.
And then
very farmable.
Stormtrooper Han can go in there too. He's a good taunt. But yeah, you'll need the Kira lead and Han. Those will be your main two. And you can kind of plug in I guess he's talking about what to build up, like the most ideal one to build up. There's a few different lineups.
Yeah. I think he's working on the solo tunes, but it's going to be the other scoundrels that you would throw in with young Han. Minus the solo character. So no Ness, no Kira, no L3, no young Lando. Have fun. Figure it out.
I wish we knew why he needed a scoundrel team for heroic.
Because he just wants one, Finn. Damn it.
They're like one of the most demanding, because you need the Zetas on them too to be effective.
And Kira takes a whole bunch of Carbantes and stuff to get up to gear 11.
It's silly to get her to gear 12. It's Scavenger Ray silly. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, mine's stuck at 10.5, and she's been there for 2 weeks now. While I'm working
Mine is
on
the
other
same.
Stuff.
She's not getting Carbantes anytime soon.
Yeah, all those scoundrels, the bounty hunters too. They're nasty to gear. The whole lot of them. But I think if how I approach the raid, for better or for worse, is that for me the challenge with the raid is to get it on farm within my guild, and we did that really early on, and I was hooray, and then my sights go to other things. And what I would suggest, if you're wanting to build that team, the heart wants what the heart wants. But, maybe just look a little longer term. There's a lot of these characters that are farmable now. You can get Han in the guild store. Kira and L3 are, kicking it in Cantina. And, those are 3 characters that you can have within a month, if you're doing refreshes easily. Kira's drop rates are amazing. So maybe look little longer term. If you have all of your scoundrels maxed, I don't know, try a bunch of different things, but I would get the Kira lead in there first, and then try and find ones who are supporting under her. And that's something that I'm doing right now for various reasons, is Kira lead, and then I've got all these again, Mustache Lando, Stormtrooper Han, all these guys kind of just sitting there warming the bench, not doing anything. And what are we going to do with them? Godo Maurice came up with a team that uses veteran Han, but you can sub out anyone different, but it's Kira lead, veteran Han, Stormtrooper Han, pardon me, Raid Han, and help me out, Godo Maurice. Who am I missing?
Nest.
And Nest, of course, and that's a very viable arena team. So you can actually play with these kind of old school scoundrels in arena now. But as far as raids go, I'm not sure. Actually, I'm going to go to Annex's Sith Guide and see. I'll go look in there and see if there's actually.
Yeah, it had I'm looking in the Merc server. They have all the different squads there, and the common one is the Kiri lead, the Han, young Lando, Stormtrooper Han, and Chewie. So for your 5. However, Zetas are highly recommended for young Han and then the Chewie one.
All right. Let's see. Next question back up top to Warrior. This one's for you, specifically word from Captain Obvious. Question for Warrior. What tunes should you be farming in case of a legendary? Prepared solo squad or KOTOR tunes?
So, a couple of things. One, I made an entire video. I'm pretty sure Captain Obvious has watched that video, but if not, it's exactly the answer to this question in a 15-minute format. So it's in depth. It actually tells you who to farm, where to farm them, and how long it'll approximately take to get each character, which characters are most important to focus on first, everything. It's too much yabbing for this. But I know some stuff now that I didn't know when I made that video, so I can't comment past that video right now.
Well, I'll help you out there a little bit there, Warrior. So, really, the only tunes you can really farm, other than using crystals out of the store and the new weekly store for Basla, really, you should focus on, if you're going to do, you can farm them right now, and I'm farming all of them right now, and I've got them all 5 stars, is the KOTOR characters, right? So, or not the KOTOR characters, the solo characters. So they're all 5 stars. So if a legendary does come out, at least I can get something 5 stars. My young Han's done and stuff. Now, we don't know if they're going to drop legendaries or when they're going to drop legendaries. So the teams that are out right now are the solo characters. If you have nothing else to farm, now remember, we don't want you to stop what you're doing to go after the new shiny, unless you're in a position to do that, especially if you're a mid-level player or a lower-level player, right? So I would say go with the solo characters. And if KOTOR comes out and you want to focus all in on KOTOR, then you can. But that's something you have to decide. But the KOTOR characters are still behind a little bit of a paywall. So until they're free to play, it's kind of moot at this point. Anybody else on that subject?
Just, there's 5. Well, no. There's how many? There's 6 solo, right?
Right.
Yeah. There's there's 6. There's 6 solo characters. There's 5 KOTOR characters. It's not rocket science to know who to farm. Farm 5 of them. And with the way that they've released them, it definitely feels like a Phoenix-esque sort of thing where you're going to need 5-star characters, which is not out of reach, I don't think, with the timeline that we have. Usually you get at least a couple of weeks to farm, and then the event is a week. That's 3 weeks. So, just keep chipping away at these, do an extra refresh, just to hedge your bets, save your crystals from arena when you can. I'm careful. I'm being careful with my mods right now. I really, really enjoy playing with mods. A couple of days I've done 100 up to 100 refresh and done, I think you can do 2 or 3 100 refreshes. I've done those and been a little disappointed in myself because I don't have anything left to farm Bosk and farm Lando and all these other guys that I need to be farming to kind of keep on track with those potential legendary / hero villain events. Because I'm pretty sure Carrie in the forum post, she said, legendary events or it was open. It wasn't just legendaries, so it's possible that we're going to get a villain's journey or a hero's journey or something out of this. So that demands 7-star characters, which just want to prepare. So I disagree. I've always got the legendary characters. I've never been disappointed with them. The only one I was disappointed with was Grandmaster Yoda when he first came out. I used him when I first got him, and then I couldn't use him for a little while. That was disappointing. But they're always fantastic. So I think dropping what you're doing to go after the shiny thing, that's my style. So yeah.
You're gonna get someone in trouble, T-Money.
If you guys can't comment, I understand. So here's one of the things, though, that is a concern that I know a lot of people have, which is how the solo characters could potentially work for a legendary, right? So we have the thoughts already kind of out there. It could be Beckett, it could be Dryden Voss, it could be like a Robo Maul or something like that. The problem is, even though there's like 6 solo characters, one of them in particular, Enfys, was kind of on the other side of the group the entire time. So even though there's 6 solo characters, there is kind of like this worry that I know some people have, which is that only 5 of the characters are really going to be eligible. So you might be forced to do Kira, young Han, young Lando, L3, and Vandor Chewie. Nest kind of gets left out. And then you have this kind of issue where you're farming 2 characters in Fleet, and it doesn't contribute to your 600, so not a lot of people are doing like all of the refreshes on it, and it's already kind of a hard node in order to get Nest, but Nest is better in the game in general. So just something, and maybe it's something to kind of consider. We think that there's going to be something with solo characters, right? But could that potentially exclude Nest, even though she was kind of in the movie, but she was part of like a different almost faction for the entire movie until like the very end?
All right.
I think that's a really good point. We never know what kind of configuration there's going to be, but I think other than the hero, other than the CLS hero's journey, has it ever been like super duper specific like that? Like if we look at the past events, like certainly the I don't think any of the legendaries has just been like, have 5 tunes from this faction. It's been, kind of a shotgun approach, but the heroic ones have been like, you need Old Ben, you need it's very prescriptive.
So there is one, and that's what I'm kind of looking in terms of what one of the latest ones was that sets precedent, and that one is Chimera. And Chimera specifically involved that you couldn't just get Rebel ships, right? You needed to specifically have Phantom and Ghost and as 2 of the ships in order to get Chimera. So that was like one of the first legendaries to do it. Now the character ones haven't gotten that, and that was a ship legendary, but it was a legendary event that didn't just require any 5 Rebels, right? You needed to get Phantom and Ghost for that one.
All right. I'll give you another one here, Warrior, from Captain Blackbeard. Question: what's the best heroic Sith Raid Phase 1 team with Visas Mar in it?
Well, probably just for Phase 1, just JTR, but instead of using, Scavray or whatever, use her in there. So, or you could use her with Scavray as well. But JTR is still a absolutely solid team, and one of the big things they have an issue with is just their survivability on their health pools, which remodding can help significantly on that. But putting someone in like her would work really well, and that's something that's not unknown. Everybody's kind of been doing that for a long time. There's a ton of people that use her that way.
All right. Next question for good old Maurice is from Darth Rada 1972. Question: how pissed will the player base be if Jango Fett is released as yet another marquee character and not a legendary? Also, what happens if this teases Jar Jar Binks or Watto?
I have no idea about the Jar Jar Binks aspect of that. But it's, again, if it's a legendary and you can't get the characters, you're not going to be able to obtain the character anyway. But if it is a marquee, then at least you will get a little test drive of the character, and you just wait. I don't know. We'll have to see. I think the player base in general is getting a little tired of the marquees, maybe. So I'm not sure. I really don't know. It's either forcing you to farm specific characters to get a character, or making you wait a few months to finish a character. I guess there's pros and cons to either side of the coin. So, I mean, we'll see. If Reddit's probably not the best place to look for any sort of, I don't know. People tend to get a little more angry on Reddit than other areas. So we'll see.
All right. Next question specifically for Lady Adastra. This is from Mateus Calvacante. Question for Adastra. Can Mace Windu's ship be viable in any way? I ask that because Boss, being a durable tank, Mace can make him unkillable.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about that recently. I used to run that ship back in the day. I tried to for as long as possible. And so recently, with the new additions and changes, it would be so much fun to try to find a viable squad with that again. My Houndstooth still needs work, though, so I haven't been able to test this. But I've been thinking of that exact scenario, too. So I'm sorry I can't give any answers yet because I haven't tested it yet. But in theory, because of all the protection going up, with that Houndstooth chip, and then the protection that Endurance supplies, and allowing the offense increase. So Houndstooth would also hit harder too. So in theory, it could be a fun one. I mean, I don't know that it could really compete with the other higher end stuff though, which I would love to find out because I hate running the same thing everyone else is running. I love testing things in Arena. So when I get a chance to test this, I'll let you know. If you test it before me, let me know.
All right. Next question for Maple Syrup Lover herself. This is from Captain Obvious. Question: what are the top 3 fastest ships in the game, and do you use them in your lineup?
Oh, the top 3 fastest ships I think are TFP, First Order TIE Pilot, and is Poe the third? I'm gonna have to look it up. I use Poe. Poe's a super fast ship. Let me look it up here.
Cameron, TIE Silencer, Imperial TIE Fighter, and First Order TIE Fighter. Those are the 4 top.
I have Poe as first, TIE Silencer, of course, and TFP. So I do run the top 2 ships. I don't run TFP anymore. I find that he just doesn't dodge like he used to, a little bit heartbreaking there for me, not heartbreaking for me on offense, so I do what I run is I run the 3 GOs out front under Akbar. So there's a ton of assists, so they're getting lots of protection up through the capital ship. And then I usually can kill everybody but TFP on the first go, and then I bring out Poe for his special, and it's done within about 25 seconds. Lots of people are using Tarkin with that lineup now. Which I think Tarkin is a little bit faster of a cap ship than Akbar. I think he's the fastest one.
Akbar is the fastest.
Is Akbar the fastest? Okay, so I'm using Akbar, which is the fastest capital ship, and then Poe, and then I do have Silencer. So if things go a little bit sideways, I'll bring Silencer out, but he's in reserve. Silencer is not the best ship to sit out front on defense because he will use his special right off the bat, and if he doesn't have advantage up and he doesn't crit, then it's a terrible waste. And usually you just like to use his basic, so to stun someone to control the match right at the beginning. So yeah, I do use Poe's ship and the TIE Silencer, and but not TFP. I will use TFP. If I'm switching up around territory wars, that'll definitely TFP is going in either offense or defense, certainly, but not an arena. And I'm lucky my ship chart is quite chill, so I'm the only geos on there. So it's
wow.
Nice. Yeah.
The whole shard, you're the only geo.
Yeah.
You started playing the game like a month and what? Are you serious?
Yeah, my ship shard's really chill. Wow. I have a couple of really good teams. There's a First Order team that just sits in second place for like days on end. Nobody wants to fight it. It's an awesome little team. It's my the guy who did the Traya killing Kylo Ren squad. He has his first order team up there, and it's a crazy little team. And he does have silencer out front, but it's still, he's got the 2 TIE ships in there, and it's, the special forces one comes and gives dots, and the other one's like so, attacky.
Attacky.
I don't know the word. He's like, attacky.
That's a technical term you just created there, T-Money. Make sure your characters have good attacky.
and
they have also
shuttle,
good defendy.
And then the shuttle comes out of reserves first, and then all of these things are happening. That shuttle, I've been studying the shuttle description because I'm like, what is happening here? He's got turn order manipulation on everything but his basic. It's just it's so much going on with that ship. It's a very good ship.
There you go. All right, next question. This one's for you specifically, Ward. This is from Helenex from UWOL_Corellia and the GRDS. Question for Warrior. After Mods 2.0, how would you order mod stats from most important to least important? For example, prior to Mods 2.0, speed was number 1 and tenacity was very low on the list. I'm wondering if they're all equal now. P.S. Warrior's potency versus tenacity video was the best pre-Mods 2.0 explanation I have ever seen.
Cool. Well, thank you for that. That is a fun video, and it remains true through Mods 2.0. The mechanic will never change. It's just going to be now more in the favor of tenacity because they got boosts. But so I actually put a video out yesterday on what mod primaries you should focus on, top 5 mod primaries, because there is I think 10 or more mod primaries that you could actually focus on, and I dialed it down to the top 5. And then I have a part 2 to that video that'll be coming out probably Sunday or Monday, which focuses on secondaries. And so it depends on which you're talking about, primaries or secondaries, and then you can also kind of combine the knowledge and find a mod that has the right primary with secondaries. But for secondaries, the 5 that you're really looking for is critical chance, offense, flat, speed, tenacity, and health. And the reason for that is because potency and health. And the reason why crit chance and potency are in the secondaries, why you're wanting to look at those, is in the primary stat, you're wanting to boost offense because that has a great gain. You're wanting to boost tenacity and health because tenacity has the largest gain seen in the primary stat. Same with health. They both have about an 11, almost 11%. One has an 11, the other one has like a 10.16 jump. So the best gain, best bang for your buck is like the health and tenacity, but offense primary is also there. And then critical damage made my list because for a couple reasons for primaries. Critical damage is still a valid option for your highest end crit damage characters, while offense is going to improve the full spectrum. There are still going to be characters on the lower end, such as Kira, who is kind of a support character but kind of an attacker, who crit damage is still going to be the better route versus offense. And there's a lot of characters around 2,000 damage on physical damage that is going to want crit damage. And the other reason is you kind of have to use what you have, right? So what's been the train of thought for 2 years? Crit damage, crit damage, crit damage, crit damage triangle, crit damage triangle, crit damage triangle. So you got to use what you have, right? I mean, it would be if you have 90 crit damage triangles and I say you should go offense triangles, how devastating is that to the individual who's just spent the last 2 years investing in those? So my philosophy doesn't just revolve around what's the absolute unequivocal best. It also revolves around realism and a responsibility in giving information to not be damning to the individual who's playing the game. So critical damage makes that list as a primary stat because everyone has a bunch of those, and it still does help characters when they crit, and so 6% is great. Again, the health and tenacity are biggest boosts for primary. And as far as the secondaries go, the reason why we focus on potency is because there's going to be a lot of people out there now going to tenacity because they're now going to actually be able to use tenacity the way it was intended to stack a bunch of it and to counter the potency applied. what it does is it forces the opponent to, because in the past you could be a lazy modder, and what I mean by that is you could toss just a crappy 40 or 50% potency on your character and pretty much guarantee your debuffs. I mean, because tenacity didn't work. There wasn't enough of it to counter the natural 100% that every ability had. So unless you got some of the rare characters like CLS or Thrawn, it really was wasted. It was just complete waste, tenacity was. And so people knew that, so nobody modded for tenacity. Because nobody was modding for tenacity, then everybody modded their potency kind of crappy. And the only potency you needed was against PvE. So, 60% or above was kind of the threshold for a lot of the, PvE. With the new mods 2.0, there are going to be people stacking 150+% tenacity on their characters to kind of put a big FU to you. And if you don't manually mod for potency on a potent character, you're going to start seeing resists a lot more than you did. And it's going to start becoming frustrating. And so you actually are going to have to make a choice. Do I want to put a bunch of offense on my Emperor Palpatine to make him hit harder, or do I want to put potency on so I actually land the shock? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to make that decision now where you didn't before. So that's what mods were supposed to do in the first place, and now I believe they're more balanced in a way that will actually allow for that. So because people are going to be using the primary stat of tenacity bumps, I really feel like you should always be looking for potency, because 85+% of the characters apply debuffs of some sort. So pretty much your entire roster needs to have potency boosts to really help. And so the most you can get from that as secondary stats, the better. I mean, really, really important to be looking for potency. Crit chance is important because is a secondary, because every character has the possibility of critting, special damage or physical damage, and you want to boost that. And because you're focused on critical damage triangles, as a primary, you're going to want to try and get as much critical chance as a secondary. The other thing is there are a number of characters that actually crit chance dependent. They're crit chance dependent. For example, Han Solo, the Raid Han guy, he's got to have at least 70-80% critical chance, because he uses his special, and then his crit chance percentage gives him that amount of turn meter. And if you want him to be able to shoot his special and immediately go basic, and so to do that, you've got to get his crit chance up. Same thing with Kira. If she's critting, she's dazing. If she's not critting, she's not dazing. So it's like you want to make sure that you've got as much of that secondary crit chance as possible. Speed is number one still for PvP environments, because at the end of the day, you're going against me or someone like me, and they're going to be focused on speed, and speed is control. If you're going first, you're going to impose your will. If you're going second, you get to watch them impose your will, even the environment. Plus, the faster your characters are, the faster you can outspeed certain teams in PvE, which help you impose your will in like certain phases and stuff. So speed's still an amazing secondary stat. But I've already talked enough about it. I've got the first video on primaries and why the primary stats should be focused on up already. It says part 1. It's on YouTube. And then the part 2 for secondary stats. If you're smart and know how to go and see my unlisted videos, you can find it immediately. It's up and it's unlisted. But if you don't, just wait until Sunday or Monday when I make it live and I talk and analyze all the mod primary and secondaries and why I feel the way I do. And hopefully it'll help give you an eye for mods. And this is a warrior tip of the day. It's in my second video, but I'll give it to you guys today. If you're looking at a mod and you're trying to go, which mod should I slice up? Make yourself a winner chicken dinner every time by picking a mod that has the primary stat that is in the list, such as tenacity or offense or defense, or health, and then look at your secondaries and try and get one that has 2, 3, or 4 of the preferred secondary stats. For example, maybe it's an offense triangle with speed, health, tenacity, and potency. You roll that bad boy and you're winning every time, because it's giving you the top 5 or top 4 best primary and secondaries you can get in the game post mods 2.0. And so even if you want it to roll speed and it rolls tenacity, you're like, yay, that's what I needed. I needed more tenacity, or I wanted more potency, or I wanted more crit chance. So as long as you pick it with the set that you want, if all of it's what you want, you'll win regardless. And what's funny is when I was rolling mods looking for health boosts because I was trying to make some of my mods roll up on health so I could really stack health like she did on Nest. I kept getting speed rolling because my mind was health. I got speed. It's like, damn it. But I was like getting 18 speed and 19 speed. I was like, well, okay, I guess I'll be happy with that. So just look at your mods and look through all your primary and secondaries to see, is this mod have a good primary and does this mod have a good secondary? And if you don't have an eye for that yet, watch those 2 videos. You'll get it. You'll acquire an eye for it, and then you'll be able to really fine tune picking the right mod because you can only do so many mods a week before you run out of the material you're farming for.
There you go. All right, next question. We'll go to good old Maurice. This is from Luke Thyrocker. Question: how do I best mod Treya, and also how do I best mods for Bosk?
Well, Treya, we kind of mentioned earlier, she has very low special crit chance, so I tend to favor offense and survivability. A little bit of potency, but remember that her lead does give 40% potency extra to Sith allies, so she might not need quite as much as some of the other characters to combat this new tenacity build that people might be favoring. Bosk, I am just now beginning to play with myself, so I'm kind of unsure on the best way to mod him. Initial thought is just to build him as tanky as possible. Tenacity you could go with, but if you build a character for tenacity, you kind of have to go all in on tenacity, especially, and he gets that with the 50% tenacity boost as well from his lead, I believe. So Bosk is somebody on the panel can probably answer Bosk better, but Treya, I definitely like offense. Survivability, yeah.
No, I went tank with my boss so far, so I mean, I think you're right on the point. He's a tank.
Yeah.
So,
but he's very, very fast. He's a very, very fast tank, so you can actually get him relatively speedy, get that taunt up or the assist move in pretty quick. So I do like a little bit of speed on him.
Yep. All right, let's see here. Next question specifically for Lady Adastra. This is from Gav P. Question for Lady Adastra, the legend, in quotation. What is the best for Territory War defense Jedi team without Bastila? What is the best team whilst I'm working on Bastila? I've got a 7-star Gear 11 plus General Kenobi, Grandmaster Yoda, Hermit Yoda, Ezra, and Barriss. What do you think?
All right. Well, the GKs are, if you have a Zeta on Barriss, I wish you listed if you had any Zetas on these guys. But I'll just assume if you do. The GK Zaris one is going to be your go-to. That's been a pretty standard TW defensive setup. It has a lot of flexibility of what you can add on there. You can sub in quite a few different characters with it. The strongest one is if you have Wampa. That's the strongest is GK Zaris Wampa +2. But for the sake of it, let's go with the pure Jedi squads. I have experimented with this, of course. And so having Grandmaster Yoda on there, you want him really fast because his first move that the AI does is going to do the battle meditation to put up to get the tenacity up. So that'll be a good deterrent against the resistance. The Poe is the common hard counter to it. So if you can have a fast Grandmaster Yoda, it'll limit what the opponent can do, because they would need a really fast Poe to counteract to get their movement first. And then for your extra 2, you have quite a few options there too. I see you've got Hermit Yoda. That's also a good one. Have a fast Hermit Yoda as well to get the Master's training going as soon as possible. And then, of course, the extra healing to make it more of an annoyance for the survivability under the GK lead, to make it very tanky. So, but then you would need another attacker. My favorite is Ayla Secura. However, I know not too many people have her. You may not have her either. But if you do, she is awesome. The counterattacks, the stuns, she goes really well in that squad. That's one that I often set, as a pure Jedi squad. If you don't have her, you could use Ezra there, because he is also a good attacker, and he has his Dispel and the assist. So if you're speaking strictly of those 5 that you listed, I mean, that actually can form a pretty strong squad. Yeah, the GK, Zaris, Yoda, or Hermit Yoda, Grandmaster Ezra. I wish you had listed if you had any of your other Jedi worked up yet, but you got a good solid foundation right there. And also take note with your Basilisk, she doesn't have to be high level or anything because it's her lead that is most important. So if you have her, at like G8 to 3-star, you can use her. The Zeta, of course, just makes her way more powerful. Yeah, I mean, I wish you gave more context. I would love to go into more details for you.
Well, send her a message on Discord. Get into the nitty gritty there. Let's see here. Next question for Team Money. This is from Bing Skymaster. Question: I'm running Tooth, Geospy, Geosoldier. I don't know what this is. BK ups, Sunfac backups. Okay, backups are Sunfac, Phantom, Biggs, Poe. Which capital ship should I use? I have Chimera and Home 1 maxed.
Well, I was really struggling with the Geonosians, and then I realized that, well, a couple of things. One was I was running the Chimera, and Good Maurice pointed out, he's like, the benefits that Admiral Akbar gives to that team. So I switched that, and it was the Angels kind of that was like a really, really big difference for me as far as offense go. Admiral Akbar's ship is terrible on defense. Like I've done if you run Admiral Akbar's ship on a regular basis, go ahead and auto that baby one time and see what the heck that dude is doing. Like he will use his basic. He will use his basic over the AOE. Like it's just insane. I have no idea what is wrong with this AI. It is the worst AI in the game, in my opinion. And yeah, it's just terrible AI. So I've been chipping away at Tarkin's ship to put that on defense to protect them a little bit more, because I think that the only reason that I fall is because of his cap ship. Do try bringing. I know Sunfac is so juicy, and I also have him. Maxed with his reinforcements with this guaranteed, is it 2 stuns coming out off the bench, but I did end up putting him out front, and it is just so much better. It's such a better team. I like having him up front. So yes, so I would suggest Admiral Akbar with that team, and then changing out to the Chimera on defense.
All right. Let's see here. Next question. Well, it's kind of, I guess, to anybody. Kazakakatu, easy question. Is anyone using Houndstooth in their ship lineup? I am not. Anybody here using Houndstooth?
I am.
Okay.
That's
just the question. Is anyone using Houndstooth in their ship lineup?
Yeah.
Nothing else. It's just anybody.
Well, what are you using? What are you using them with, Warrior?
Other ships. No, I'm just kidding. So the train of thought, and this is just my train of thought, so you can take it with a grain of salt, but Akbar's cool, right? He provides a lot of extra protection. You can put your Geos in the front 3 and put HT in the first lineup in the back. And so what happens is people can't kill your soldier quite fast enough because...
Oh, you're breaking up.
Warrior?
Yeah, did we lose Warrior?
Yeah, I thought my phone died for a second there.
I did too. I just looked at my computer. I was like, uh-oh.
I think we have Warrior back. Yeah, I think we can hear you now, Warrior.
Okay, sorry about that. It must have just been a Wi-Fi influx. I apologize. So with Admiral Akbar, fastest capital ship, he goes first. He calls an assist, almost always calls soldier to go. Soldier gets protection up. They try and triple burst damage your soldier because that's who they always kill first. That strategy, you kill the soldier first. And they don't. They can't kill him, right? So then your HT comes in as first reinforcement. And now you've got the 3 Geos out, which they were out from the beginning, and another tank. So that's a great lineup there if you're using HT with Akbar. If you're using the Chimera, you actually want to put HT in the front 3. And the reason for that is you're going to have him with Soldier and Spy. And if they try to hit Soldier or Spy, they're going to speed up your HT because Houndstooth gets turn meter when they hit other ships. And so they're going to try to kill your other ship, but before they can finish that off, HT hopefully will get enough turn meter to force go. Then he's going to shoot, which causes him to taunt immediately, which gives you enough time to buy time to get your Sunfac out. And Chimera can heal. And so because you have a heal, if they do critically hit one of your ships, you can immediately heal it up with your lead ship. And so those are the best 2 lineups that you can have, period. Now, the Executrix is a good catch-all ship. It's not the fastest, not the slowest, and it has a great ultimate with the, with his ultimate, but it's the slowest kind of ultimate of all the ultimates, really, as far as like having something go off that is a for sure win. And HT can even survive it at times. So, you don't have a heal with Executrix. And so people are trying to burst damage your ships. And if they do damage, it's going to stay. The damage is going to stay. The only advantage is all your ships hit harder and you're able to chew through other teams slightly faster. So every ship has its advantage. Every ship has its disadvantage. For defense, I feel like the HT in the front 3 with the Chimera is the strongest, and I don't drop out of the top 10. So I get hit once or twice. I wake up in 5th place or in 9th place, and those are max jumps. So it's apparent someone's max jumping it through me. But if you are climbing, either using Akbar or Executrix, in my opinion, would be better because you're going to get more offense with Executrix and a little more durability with Akbar to make sure that you can control the battle the way you want it to control it and reduce the RNG that you experience when climbing. But yeah, I feel like Thrawn's ship is best because it can debuff the other team, buff your team, cleanse, heal, and has the fastest ultimate in the game. And with him in the initial 3, people have to immediately deal with your Houndstooth. And I don't care who you are, a 7-star, Gear 12, Bosk with that ship, it's horrible. I don't care what everyone says, if like, oh, it's easy to beat, blah, blah, blah. Like, there are tools to beat it, yes. But even with those tools, the plan can go awry and you can still lose the battle. So those are the 3 capital ships that I would suggest and why.
All right. Next question from Sith Forever 9. Question for me. Okay, Ranger, where should I find a guide on how to mod my Bounty Hunter squad for Sith Raid Phase 2? A guide for Bounty Hunters Sith Raid Phase 2. Ugh. Not a typical team. I'm trying to think if anybody that I know has done a video like that.
Didn't Skeltrix do it?
I'm trying to remember if he did or not. I don't remember. Finn, help me out here.
You're the Scoundrels one, not a bounty hunter.
Right.
Yeah, I remember Scoundrels. There was like a while ago, I think Arnold did with a Bosk lead when like it first kind of came out.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is really...
Yeah, I'm looking on the server and I don't see... People have used...
Yeah, there's one a while ago. So I found the one from Arnold, it's like 4 months ago now, but it was the Bosk lead bounty hunters.
Yeah, I'm looking on Skeltrix as I don't see anybody on here.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really. I mean, other than
it's a mix of Scoundrels and stuff now. It's not just a pure bounty hunter. I think the last pure bounty hunter one I saw was Arnold's, which I just put in the chat, which is like a 2 million Bosk lead bounty hunter team.
Yeah, I can't.
Well, Embo works better as the lead in Phase 2.
What's that?
Yeah,
Embo works better as a lead in Phase 2.
Yeah. Bosk. Oh boy.
Well, one of us just needs to make a vid.
Indeed.
Indeed. When I get a
Yeah,
7-star
somebody go
boss,
get
I'll
Embo's
do
7-star.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
just get him with 7 stars. And, no.
Say, all right, we got 3 game changers here. One of you can do it.
Yeah, it goes Bosk lead in phase 1, Embo lead in phase 2, and Aura Singh in phase 3. And they built them like that, specifically for a different phase. Each one of them has a different strength, and each strength brings a different PvE longevity or durability. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't been covered. I'm not really the raid guy, though. I don't do raid videos. One, because I rarely time to, but 2, just because I don't do a ton of raiding myself personally. But yeah, there's 3 different leads for 3 different phases, and if we get another scoundrel or another rework or anything cool like that, there might be a phase 4 team that would come out of that as well.
Yeah, that's what's awesome with all their different leads. They each have their strengths. I think Bosk is best for phase 2 because of that survivability and whatnot. Boba Fett with certain ones too. And then phase 1, Embo is actually the better lead there versus against phase 2.
All right. All right, back to the top. Those are just a couple of random questions set toward me. But Mole Eliza 2. This is a question for Warrior specifically. Question for Warrior. I'm running Geos with HT and Fleet under Thrawn. I have banked 2,300 prestige, but can't decide if I should work on Home One or Executrix next.
2,300?
Yeah, you need 1,850 for one capital ship, so he's just barely got enough ship. The catch-all is going to be the Executrix. 100% of the time, you can put Executrix in, and he's the catch-all best capital ship, period. There's no other capital ship that does better in every mode of the game for every aspect. It's the strongest overall capital ship. Thrawn is the second, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. And then, of course, Akbar has his specialty and his aspects when he's important and stuff, too. So for me, if I had enough to do them in priority, I would do the Executrix, then Chimera, then Akbar, and then the Mace's ship, and then I would save 2,000 for the next capital ship that's coming out.
All right. Next question for good old Maurice is from Ski Trooper. Question: how to mod Fox for defense in territory wars in a single tank first order team? Fast first order officer and slightly slower OG Kylo. What do you think, good old Maurice?
Are you on mute, good old Maurice?
Are you on mute? Did you do the muty thing?
Is he on a bathroom break?
Good old Maurice.
Sometimes he's
Don't
got
unmute if
like
you're on a bathroom break.
he's got
Yeah, please
severe,
don't. Yeah, we don't want. No, please.
he's got severe narcolepsy, so it's
Oh,
Let's call it good old Maurice. He who shall be named good old Maurice. The power of Christ compels you. No, not working.
do we need a ritual sacrifice?
I mean, Finn, green that porg over. It's time to send him to the gods. All right. How to mod Fox for defense in territory wars in a single tank first order team. I don't understand why we're doing only a single tank first order team. Maybe because he doesn't have crew undone, but that seems kind of crazy. If you're running a first order team without crew,
I'm guessing he
defense.
doesn't have first order stormtrooper already. I'm guessing stormtrooper.
it's how
That
to
could be
order
it too.
how to mod executioner.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we were just trying to determine what his lineup was.
Yeah, and I was like, well, okay,
you're
so if
trying
it's
to do
not
first
that,
order with only a
But,
single
I mean,
tank.
It's pretty. I mean, he's gonna need the same mods regardless, though. Anyways, 'cause
Mhm.
Yeah.
you're gonna want him to murder stuff.
Kassan Chop.
And he murders stuff with health, so you're just going high health with him anyways, and try and get
basically.
him some speed in order to go a little bit more frequently. And then he gets all the extra crit anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, you're just using it's a basic big hit, and you just constantly do that, and it just gets ridiculous. I mean, once he gets going, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I agree. You're gonna mod him the same way, regardless. All right, next question to Lady Adastra. This is from Danilo Accioli. I hope I said that right. Question: So, as far as I know, 6-dot mods can't be equipped on non-7-star characters. That will impact on the usability of good marquee characters that work at low stars like Bastila, Nest, Boss, etc. I don't know if it's 7. It's Gear 12. Yeah, it's Gear 12. 7.
Gear
Well, you have to
12,
be
yeah.
Gear 12 to put 7. Yeah, so it's a double combination there.
Yep, so you just gotta get those guys to 7-star quicker.
And
Yay!
Gear 12.
No, I mean, yeah, obviously you have to be careful. You know, you get some awesome mods and you're all excited to get it leveled up. Be careful if you do have it on your non-G12 7-star, because then you can't use it anymore. So yeah, it's kind of like a double-edged sword there, and it's awesome to get it up to the max, the 6E. But if you're using a bunch of the non-G12 stuff for your arena, hold off on that. I mean, that'll give you some time to think about what your best 6E will be, too. So in a way, it's kind of nice. It'll help you to slow down and to analyze what mods you have and build up what you have before taking something to 6E while you're slowly grinding away, getting all these shards and getting everyone to 7-star. But they are still very, very useful. I mean, yeah, the 6E helps, but you don't have to have it. You can still kick plenty of butt in arena with, the non-6E mods. I mean, I only have like maybe 3. I haven't gone gung-ho on that yet. I'm focusing on the lower end still, before 6E, I mean. But yeah, I mean, you can get a fast Nest without the 6E. You can Bastila, she's pretty versatile as far as modding. Boss, you can still get fast and tanky without that. So you should still be okay. Yeah. And
there you go. All right, next question for Canadian Maple Leaf herself. This is from Princessin Sissi, SISSI. Question, T-Money. What do you think happens on 9/12/19? Release of more info or an event or question mark?
9/12. 9/12/19.
I assume
he meant 18. Yeah, it says 19. So,
a year from now.
I'm
Let me-
just
hold
reading
on.
as there, and I had to think about that for a second. See, in a year from now,
Look at your magic 8-ball here.
It is my favorite thing to do to look into the future, and so I'm going to tell you what I've been telling people for the last months and months
Sure.
before Game Changer stuff was I don't know maybe I should just not. I'll just pass.
Right.
I don't want to make anybody do a thing.
So close.
Oh my god.
So, there's something coming. There's something coming that's
Right.
so interesting that they're putting out a pixelated picture for it. Like I don't know what that picture is, but it's a teaser. It's it's probably not going to be like someone's able to be farmed in a hard node now. Like, it's
Yay! All right,
probably
moving on.
By the way, just to answer the question, it's more likely than not going to be the drop of the event, and that picture is referencing a character, so just be ready for that. It's likely not going to be they put the date on that blurry picture, and if they just gave us more information on that day, that would kind of be a major letdown. Something's going to actually drop in game for that. It's not just going to be more info.
Right. All right, this kind of goes along with that. The next question, back to the top to Warrior question. Carry implied, this is from Nathaniel Morgan. Warrior question. Carry implied the character in the picture likely wouldn't be legendary. Can the community handle the grind of yet a marquee character?
So the person just said that she implied it would be a legendary because that's
Would
not the
not
impression.
be a legendary. And he wants really the question is, can the community handle the grind of yet another marquee event?
Well, they have to. I mean, what's the choice if that's the case? If
Storm
if it
CG,
happens-
slaughter everyone, including the women and children.
No.
No, that's not right.
If the community believes that happens, and that does happen, I mean, it is what it is. What are you going to do? I mean, you have two choices: play or quit. So, I mean, I don't want to be rude about it, but it is what it is, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So it just, she in that post very clearly states that they're in the evolution of changing their delivery system, but that they're in the process of changing, and that we kind of have to give them grace in this process. So, it just is what it is.
I blame Finn.
Can I just say that I'm going to say the bad acronym right now, or I'll say the full words. I played Marvel Strike Force for a number of months, very aggressively, and I'm done with it now. And part of the reason was how they release characters, and it was what they did was they would release it and they'd give you this little mini, kind of like our events now. They'd have like 10 nodes that you had to go through. They're very, very challenging for all but the like top players. I was pay to play on there. I had a solid account, but I could not get past like node 2 of 10 on some of these. And then you had to farm the character for 2 weeks, super aggressively on these nodes, and you wouldn't get it at the end. So I really don't know what people are complaining about as far as the marquees go. There are plenty of tunes that we have that you can use for the heroic Sith raid. These are, the tunes that are coming out are not like, oh my gosh, there's this tune that, I need Embo and my guild's not going to be able to complete the raid because we don't have Embo. Like, that's not what it's like. It's just that they're not 7 stars, and so you work to 7 stars them. But it's a free character that they just give you. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. Like, I do have a lot of marquees that I'm farming, but then we complain about Cantina. There's nothing in Cantina for me to farm. It's like, okay, well, maybe they should release a marquee. I don't know.
I think it's the amount of characters that are all been marquee. I just think people are burnt out on doing the same thing over and over again, right? Which is, I think, the issue. It's not that the events are marquee or how they're releasing the characters. That there's just so many. A plethora.
Just all at once. Yeah.
It's all at once. I mean, I guess you guys I have a bunch of just one sitting, right? Like that. I find the gear is the challenge rather than the stars. But again, I'm more PvP focused. So, it's not my dream to use Embo and P3 of the Sith raid. And I can't do that for 6 months. Like it's, maybe I play a different way so it doesn't impact me as much. But I just, every time I get it, I'm like, yay, free character. And you can sit at the bottom of my roster, or I can gear you up super fast. Like Bastila, it was like, I read her kit and I was like, she is so good. She had the Zeta, she had the gear, she had everything within 24 hours. She was so easy to gear. And then, Jolie is, I'm sorry, that Astra. Jolie is still just sitting at level 1, gear 1, and I don't have these. I know. And I don't have a use for him now, and I'm just not there, I guess, in my roster too. So I don't know.
That's the right call. All right. Good Maurice, are you back yet? He's still...
No, he got a phone call. He just wrote in chat he got a phone call.
Did he leave again?
Yeah, I thought he said he's back.
Oh.
Is he back?
He said be right back, phone call, and then he said back, sorry.
Good old Maurice.
Is he gone again?
Next.
Make up your mind.
I feel like he's intentionally effing with us. I'm just throwing it out there.
He's mad at T-Money.
Oh,
he's got lots of work stuff going on right now. That's probably what it is.
It's because of what you said about Jolie.
Well, all right, Jedi Dasher. Next question from Tim Bedard. Question: who should be first to attack, Thrawn or Nest?
To attack, as in you are attacking them, or attacking with them?
Who should be first to attack, Thrawn or Nest?
So modding, if you're modding for speed, who should be faster?
Oh, of your own squad. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, the AI is really stupid, so you would actually want Thrawn faster, so he'll fracture first, because if Nest is faster, she'll do the AoE, but then Thrawn will use his TM with her, and wasting his chance to fracture on defense. On offense, obviously you want Nest ridiculously fast, so she can get that AoE TMR days going on. I mean, that's pretty much her sole reason to exist in Arena is for that guaranteed first movement there. And it's super easy to get her fast. But for defense purposes, I found that having Thrawn as your fastest is usually better because you want to make it as easy for the AI as possible. And they're not too smart, unfortunately. But yeah.
All right, next question. We'll go to Team Money. This is from Gav P. Question: what teams are you guys using for each phase of the Sith raid, and which teams did you farm for, and which you don't? Okay, let me read this again. Which teams are you guys using for each phase of the Sith raid, and which teams did you farm for, which you think don't do as much damage as you thought it would?
So for phase 1, I'm using a Grandmaster Yoda lead and Rey and I really like the Grandmaster. I'm still kind of working the bugs out with that one, and I like I said, I'm going to build some nice loadouts and get those guys going really nicely. So Grandmaster Yoda and Rey can actually. Ad Astra is going to help me with that pretty please. Ad Astra is an amazing raider, by the way. She's like, yeah, it's. I'm
Aren't
like,
you a
wow.
guild leader?
I am, and I recruited her because she's so freaking beastly. But so Grandmaster Yoda and Rey in phase 1. I did put the Zeta on Grandmaster Yoda specifically so that I could use them in the raid. I probably would not have done that had I known that Bastila was coming soon after. I don't think that. I'm sorry, Ad Astra. I always feel so bad when I diss the Jedi. I don't think that it's worth it personally, unless you're really struggling.
I'm not helping you now.
unless your guild is struggling with that. But again, my goal as a guild leader is to get the raid on farm, and then everybody can have their fun, and I can place what I place. I'm fine with that. In P2. I'm running a GK lead with Wampa, Thrawn, Sabine, and Hermit Yoda. And I definitely got Hermit Yoda to 7 stars for that. He is the best raid tune for sure. I have 1 Zeta on him, and I would love to put another one on him, but there's a lot of priorities, so I haven't yet. I have started to kind of put some gear on Sabine. My Sabine is gear... sorry, let me think here. 10, 9, 8. 8. And she does fine in there. I can get 3 armor shreds off onto Scion. It's not 5 or 6, but it's fine. So it'll get me, if I have a good day, it'll get me over 2 million quite easily. And then for P3, I'm running Chex Mix. I have been trying to run the new Night Sister. What are we calling it? Like Death Storm, which you have to say it every time. So I've been running Death Storm, and it's tricky to get going. But you get like 1 million on every, with 1 topple, you can get 1 million points on it. So it's once it gets going and you get the right characters dead, it's fun and fantastic, and it might actually be a little bit of a loop. It might. Before I had played it, I was like, this won't be nerfed. This is working as intended. And now it's like, oh, basically Ventress just AoEs everyone and kills them once she builds up her offense, her stacking offense. And so she'll just kill everybody, and then the topple happens, and then she kills everybody, and then the topple happens, and then she kills her. And so it is very much a loopy thing. So I don't know, but people have gotten, starting at the end of P2, the top score I've seen is 22 million on that team now. So whew. Then in P4, I used to use the Night Sisters, and now it's just kind of like kitchen sink from the start. I just throw whatever in.
That's
So
right, and maple syrup.
And maple syrup.
And maple syrup. All right, next question for Warriors from Dana Descent. Hi, Dana. Question. Is Houndstooth viable at 3 stars with a Gear 11 Zeta boss? If so, what ship lineup would be best run with him?
Same ship lineups that we've been discussing, and yes, if you're one of those people that kind of floats in and around the top 200, if you're into the top 50 of your leaderboard, almost guaranteed no. With many of the new leaderboards really having tons of really great burst damage characters, a single burst shot can kill an almost completely maxed out 3-star HT. If you have like offense up on a TIE fighter pilot, he can do his special and one-shot the ship. So the only way it's viable in the highest end of your leaderboard is going to be maxed out. And then it's a great ship, but not maxed out at 3 stars. It's only viable if you're a casual player somewhere between, top 200 to top 400 approximate. I mean, I'm just throwing ballparks out, but I have a free-to-play friend who maintains top 50, and he tried it, put that ship in, and he's not having as much luck as he did with having other lineups without it. So I would say I wouldn't worry about that ship too much. Just make sure you have the tools to beat it when you run into it, unless you're a casual player, and then at 3 stars it's a solid additional tank to be able to add to your lineup.
All right. Let's start breezing through these questions. Next one for Lady Adastron. Let's good old Maurice came back. Nope. Okay. Ouchie Dumpling has a question. Hey, Ouchie. Question. Finally Zetaed my Barris. Been dragging my feet since Zeta's came out. I also got her Gear 11. Is Gear 12 on her necessary for heroic Sith raid? Also got Health Arrow, Circle, Try, and Cross on her. Is that too much?
Hi, Ouchie, and congrats on a Zeta Varys.
Next is Zeta
Dooku. Yeah, she G11 is viable, especially since you have the right mindset of loading her up with health, because that's lots of health, but you do also need speed on her. I'm assuming I'm not sure what phase, or did she say for the raid or in general?
Raid.
Yep.
I don't want to assume the wrong thing again.
Yeah, it was for
and specifically the Sith raid.
Okay. All right. So then that's gonna be either a phase 1 or a phase 2. I wish knew what squad you were thinking of, but either way, you're gonna want speed on her, because she's not as useful if she's super slow. I mean, yeah, she's going to add to some of their survivability, but if it's phase 1, you definitely need speed, because she's going to help cleanse the defense down, and in general, she'll get her heal up much quicker. And again, yeah, you do want lots of health on her, because again, she so you got to give her as much as possible. G11 does work. G12 is obviously better, but it's not a must, compared to whatever else you're working on. I mean, yeah, I will advocate G12. Oh, you're a Jedi.
What?
But you don't have to.
How dare you?
Yeah, I wish you had given me more detail of what squad you're using her on, then I could give you more specifics. But in general, yeah, health and speed. That's all you need for her.
All right.
And kick butt.
Can I ask the next question, Ranger?
Yeah, what's the next question?
Okay, so the next question I'm going to ask to a Jedi lover specifically.
What?
Questions from Nathaniel Miller. Best companions for a Kenobi and Zeres combo. Riemann, answer the question.
Hey, guys.
Oh, hey! It's Riemann.
Welcome back.
Whoa, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who it is.
Yeah. What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me back. Yeah, I've just been super busy with some real life stuff, but I'm glad to answer this question. So you said that the best comp for Jedi with Barris. Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah. So what are the best companions for a Kenobi Zeres combo team?
Well, you're saying with a Kenobi lead, basically, right?
Lead wasn't specified, so we can take it from both ways. If Kenobi,
right now, I'd have to say if you're not talking about a Kenobi lead, then Bastila with Zaris, Kenobi, I'd say Ezra, Grandmaster Yoda, and That's it. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say Bastila lead with Ezra, Grandmaster Yoda, Zaris, and Kenobi would be the best right now. But if you're talking about a Kenobi lead, then I'd probably include some clones in there. So I'd say, is this for like arena, or is this just like just kind of like
just a general question, no specific.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I'd say that's the best combination where you're going to include those characters right now in the meta as it is at the moment. So if you're talking about like for TW, I mean, you can get away with like a Zaris with a Kenobi lead and let's say like 5s, and you can also use I'd say like I mean, Ayla is a good option there, and then I would say besides them maybe a Hermit Yoda. So I don't know. There's a couple of ways you can go with that. If you're talking about a Kenobi lead, and really, I don't have much experience with the Kenobi lead. I never really was part of that. I never really ran that team. But I would say if you're going to use Zaris and you absolutely have your heart set on it, I don't think Zaris personally adds a whole ton over Hermit Yoda. So if it was my choice, I would prefer to have Hermit Yoda in that position than Zaris. But if you have your heart set on Zaris, or you just don't have Hermit Yoda, then I would say that using them with a Bastila lead and Jedi with Ezra and Grandmaster Yoda probably be the best.
So he did clarify. So he said GK lead for Territory Wars.
Okay. So GK lead for Territory Wars. Then I would venture to say that using 5s in there would be good. You'd probably want to have. You probably still want to have a. You need some damage in there, so I would say Ezra, and then I'd say Grandmaster Yoda.
All right. Very nice. All right, let me see here. Next question.
How you guys been? I missed you guys.
We've been good, man. We've been good. You know, you're always welcome, but I know you've been busy, man. So we're just glad to have you here. Back.
And now we have 4 game changers.
That's right.
33% more game changers than the start of the street.
Pokemon, collect them all the game changers.
Got a party going on.
Sorry, I've been awful. I keep getting.
I choose you, warrior.
Today.
Today for Maurice is like the Super Bowl. It's the first. It's like it's college football.
South Carolina and Georgia. Yeah, I'm like getting sweaty and antsy. It's about to get crazy.
Oh snap! All right, we'll go to you to good old Maurice. Question this is from Danilo Papayas. I already Zetaed Wicket. With that in mind, should I consider doing a Zeta on Chirper since Ewoks are already my second strongest light side team?
Well, I am notorious for making a questionable Zeta decision, then continuing to make questionable decisions to try to justify it. If you Zetaed Wicket, then you probably should consider Zetaing Chirpa. And at least if it's your second strongest light side team already, go ahead and finish it out. If you're already heavily invested in it, there's no sense in just abandoning ship, gear 11, no Zetas, or, half the Zetas. You might as well just try to finish it because that team is effective on TW offense, and it can get through many of the meta teams if you mod it properly. I don't personally have an Ewok team. It's a team I'll probably just won't have for quite some time, but it is a viable team, but I have not seen much use for it outside of TW offense. It's serviceable in the raids. It's not going to get you top 3 in the leaderboard, but it's serviceable if you're just getting into the Heroic Sith raid. They can get you your 2%. So it's not I don't know. I wish I knew a little bit more about the Ewoks to try to help you out here, but Chirpa lead you should probably Zeta Chirpa lead if you got Wicked, yes.
Give me. All right, next question. I lost my. This is from Anthony Zingarello. Question: we're gonna go to Jedi Lady Dastra. No, I've lost my. Where am I
I don't know.
I have completely lost track. Damn it, Finn! I blame you. All right, Anthony Zigarello, go to you, Lady Adestra. Question: I run Bastila Zeta, Grandmaster Yoda, Special Zeta, Ezra Zeta, Old Ben, and Ayla Secure in Arena. All are 7-star in Gear 12. I can climb to 2 to 5 daily. I generally fall to 20 to 25 before I start climbing. Should I Zeta Old Ben?
First of all, props on running that Jedi
dare you.
squad. Right on.
Forever.
And I wish I knew what your arena was like. 'Cause, I mean, in my arena, if I fall to 2025, that's pretty good with my Jedi. But as far as Zating Old Ben, like, say if your arena is full of Traya and Throns and all that, it's not going to make a huge difference. It's really going to come down to how you have them modded. Because, say he's really slow, your Old Ben, if he's slow, he's just going to get isolated or fractured right away. So his taunt isn't really going to be of much use there. But if you can get it off quickly, it is good because the fracture won't clear it. The isolate, I don't think it does either for the first go around, I mean. So it is useful, but I wouldn't say it's a requirement. Like, it won't make a huge difference. Like, okay, you're getting up to 2 and 5, top 5, I mean, no problem falling to 2025. It's not going to make a huge difference in holding. I've been doing an extremely a lot of testing with my Jedi in Arena and I'm finding out it's coming more down to how you have them modded, like the turn orders, the what kind of setups. So that Zeta, I mean, yes, obviously instinctively I'll say Zeta him, but it's really not a requirement for your arena.
No,
based on depending on what you're facing, though, that's what's hard. Like if you have a mixture, if it's not all Treyas and stuff, then yeah, it'll be way more powerful. But if it is strictly a Bastila Treya arena that you're in, it's not going to be as useful. Now, if you're looking beyond arena, like for territory wars, then absolutely. Like if you're in a position that you can give this Zeta, no problem, before other stuff, then I would advocate it more. If you were looking at all the game areas, it's a strong Zeta. Like for TW, it can come in handy a lot. So, but yeah, again, for arena specifically, it really depends on how you have everything. I hate this limited information.
You just answer the question. We can't live in all the hypotheticals, JD. We don't have the Force, damn it.
I'm not a mind reader.
That's right. All right, let's move on to the next. We got 2 more questions, so we're going to go to Team Money for the next one. This is from Betts Gaming. Question: can you go over that first order ship lineup again? I believe it was Team Money who was talking about it.
Mm-hmm. So out front is Special Forces TIE Pilot and First Order TIE Pilot, along with the Kylo Ren TIE Silencer ship, and it's paired with the Chimera. It's just a really it's a tanky team, and it's got a couple of really tanky ships and a couple of really what are we calling it, attacky based ships. Mm-hmm. and then coming out of the reinforcements, first off is the command shuttle, Kylo Ren's command shuttle, and which is a fantastic ship. Let me just, I have some notes here from my studies last little while. And
Death Storm.
Pardon? The Death Storm. Death Storm. Oh gosh, I can't find it. But the ship is, where's the ship? Here it is. So the command shuttle, so it's got like advanced jamming array. It's like every single one of its abilities except its basic manipulates turn meter. So it's got 70% chance to remove 30% turn meter on its first special. The reinforcement removes 20% turn meter from all enemies, and then gives 10% turn meter to all first order allies. The surprise rate, you really have to take a look at the ship to know how to use it properly, because it's quite complicated. I would say it's the most complicated ship other than freaking Cassian. Cassian, I'm always like, what does this do? There's so many different abilities in Bistan too. Those two ships are quite complicated. But yeah, it's the AI will pull the shuttle off the bench preferentially to come and meet those first order allies out on the field, and then my geos tend to kill them. I can't remember what comes out after that, but yeah, it's a very, very strong team. Oh, my bad. No, he's using Executrix with it. Yeah, he's using Executrix with it. So it really builds on the debuffs, because the Special Forces tie will put dots on everybody, including its own team. It's kind of weird, but it'll put dots on everybody, and then automatically they have very high offense, because it's based off of, they get the bonus from having debuffs on enemies, and then they start hitting very hard. So you have to really control that team quickly, and there you go.
That's right, say. All right, Next question from Bing's Time Master, say. You're going to ask me a question. Question for Ranger. My first order is Crew Zeta Gear 12, First Order Stormtrooper Zeta Gear 11, First Order Executioner Gear 12, First Order Officer Gear 11, and First Order TIE Fighter Pilot Gear 12. My First Order Special Forces is Gear 8. Is he worth the farm? And if so, does he replace my First Order TIE Fighter Pilot? Any more Zetas recommended? No, you've got the ones you need. You've got First Order Officer. The one I did not hear is First Order Stormtrooper. That is a priority. Now, First Order Special Forces, if you're going to use them for fleet, get them to at least Gear 11. But you can replace First Order Special Forces with First Order Officer. People like that, like him in that lineup instead of Officer. I don't personally. I like First Order Officer. First Order Stormtrooper is a key in there. I mean, it really... Is he worth the farm, and does he replace my First Order TIE Fighter Pilot? I think he does. I mean, First Order TIE Fighter Pilot is great, but First Order Special Forces can do some crazy good stuff in there. That's why you can replace him with First Order Officer. I mean, TIE Fighter Pilot, he's okay. I mean, his damage is not fantastic. I mean, T-Money, you Zetaed him. You know what I'm talking about. I know you regret that.
Yes, I did accidentally Zeta First Order TIE Pilot, because I get the acronyms FOTP and FOST mixed up. And
right.
Yeah, so that's on me. Did it late at night when I might have been having a couple of drinks with friends.
Alcoholic beverages, yes.
Online in the community here. So he's great, and he's my First Order TIE Pilot is the fastest on my shard, but I don't use him anymore, so yeah.
All right, let's see, Thoka question, last one, we'll go to Warrior. Question: is it worth it to farm a crit damage mod set for Wampa?
He is a high enough damage dealer that I would actually evolve him over to offense. You're going to get better output 100% of the time with an offense set. So I would do an offense set and a crit chance set, or an offense set and a health set. And then I would focus on you could put a crit damage triangle on, or you could put an offense triangle on. The thing is, he doesn't have to be that fast. So if you can get a bunch of speed secondaries, you could actually go offense, arrow, crit damage triangle, offense plus, with health circle, with a health set and an offense set, with as much speed secondary as possible, and it would be a nightmare that way. It would be an absolute nightmare to face.
All right. Now we got some fun questions, and then we're going to close it out. So, fun questions. Good old Maurice has a fun question. Okay. Question for PPR: Sammy Watkins, Kenny Stills, or Alan Hearns? What the hell is this?
I didn't mean for that to be asked on the stream. I was asking the chat. Apologies.
The answer is Kenny Stills.
I went with Sammy Watkins. All right.
I'm gonna go. With
No,
Kenny
because in a
Stills.
PPR, the problem is this is the Dolphins right here. So if you're talking Dolphins, and Tannehill has a habit of doing a lot of backfield throws to the receivers, and with Landry gone now, Kenny Stills is going to get a lot more of those. So I think you're going to get a lot of behind the line of scrimmage passes to Kenny Stills, and you're going to be able to take advantage of a PPR league with.
Kenny Stills is a deep guy, man.
For now, that's what you think. But they got rid of Jarvis Landry, and they have like nobody.
Okay, we're moving on to Star Wars stuff. You guys can talk about this offline. Yeah, we're not getting out. No, sorry, no, we're gonna no.
Vanity coming through in the clutch.
I don't want Graham coming through the chat and choking somebody out. All right, Nathaniel Morgan.
You think we're talking about baseball?
Nathaniel Morgan, question: can Dr. Finn evaluate Algae Dumpling? Something has made her mad. Well, I mean, Dr. Finn, what are your thoughts?
I'm the one that made her mad, so I.
Oh well, there you go. So that case solved. God darn it, we are great detectives. Forbidden Shadow Alliance, Dagobah, question, Padawan Anakin.
That was it.
No.
I told you, I think that picture initially kind of looked like Anakin hugging Padme.
No.
So.
You're breaking my heart. Next question from Helenix. Question for Ranger, for fun, if there's time. Can we get Harry Carey to chant some Sith Arthur spells for you and I, so we both can roll some speed on our slicing? Oh, sure! Hi, everybody! Harry Carey here, your dark side extraordinary user. We're gonna try some powerful Sith spells. Now, the first thing you need is a big giant plate of barbecue spare ribs, a basin full of water, and ice, and inside it you put some cold Budweiser. If you're gonna scry, you need Budweiser for this. Alright, here we go. Hi, Sith guys that are dead. We need some knowledge so we can get some good slicing. And could cut the Cubs win another World Series. And can Team Money quit eating so much damn maple syrup? That's all I got.
I think you need to work on your Amidala.
Oh, that's a good call, T-Buddy.
I would like to hear you do as good of an Amidala as you do a Harry Carey.
When she's, I'm not condoned to cause faction to lead us to war. I was like, oh God, shut up. You're breaking my heart. All right, last one. Darth Skywalker question: which faction do you wish was better? Anybody? Faction you wish was better?
Which was better?
Which one do you wish was better? Like a faction
which was better?
Yeah.
The Geos, man. Like I wish they were better forever and ever. I ran Geo Soldier in my arena for a long time. At the beginning, I had this like my theory crafting, my assist team. I had like Qui-Gon Jinn lead with Geonosian Soldier, and I don't know who else. Probably Ahsoka was in there at some point. But they're such a neat team. I never geared Poggle. I don't really know how he works, but the others are so like Spy is such a cool tune. Like Spy is Vader and Boba. Like those are two of our best, attackers, and Spy is just as good. It's just he's squishy and he's slow, and it's just tricky to make him work right now. But I really, really wish that they're better. Plus, I have 2 of them at Gear 12 now. So, and it's not like I have I have 38, say, Gear 12 characters. So having 2 of them be the Geonosians, totally useless in PvP and raids and everything, just for their ships, is a little bit of a waste. But
all right, anybody else?
I'd say droids, baby.
Separatists.
What did you say?
Separatists and Tuskens. I want to throw Tuskens up there because I do love me some
Tuskens. Let's not talk about Tuskens.
I love Tusken Shaman.
The Jawa.
We haven't had a Tusken since the Tusken Shaman.
Oh no, we didn't hit another Tusken. Oh no. I'll try not to be heartbroken about that one. Okay, so that's all the questions. So now we're going to let everybody pimp. I'm going to let Warrior go first because I know he has to get to work and all that other jazz. So, Warrior, where can folks check you out at, my friend?
Well, if they're stalkers, they can come to Colorado. Otherwise, you would go to YouTube and you would check me out there at Warrior Presents or at my Warriors Roster Reviews channels. I'm on Twitter as well as Facebook, so check me out in those places.
There you go. Jedi Master Dasher, where can folks check you out at?
I have a YouTube channel that's also called Jedi Master at Astra, so very easy to find. As the title implies, it has a bunch of Jedi videos, and there's some Sith raid content as well. Otherwise, I hang out on Discord.
That's right. Riemann, where can folks check you out at, my friend?
Well, sometimes I'm in a bush across the street from Warrior's house, just kind of checking out what he's doing.
That's your week to watch him.
But when I'm not doing that, you can catch me at on my YouTube channel at Ramon Azab, and on Twitter at Ramon Azab, and on Sunday nights with good old Maurice, and we will be on tomorrow night. So.
Yeah, what time? Because usually it's like Monday morning when you guys go on, you psycho.
Yes, around midnight tomorrow night.
Oh my God.
Midnight Eastern time. So,
yeah,
so for those folks in the West Coast, we're right in your wheelhouse, baby.
Yeah.
It's true. And Europe too. It's a morning stream.
That's right. Yeah. Good old Maurice, anything you want to pimp, brother? Or you gonna leave it all to T Money and Riemann?
I think he might have had to.
There we go. Then we'll just go right to T Money. So we know good old Maurice will hang out with Riemann on those Sunday shows. With T Money, what else? What do you got? What's going on with you?
We have our weekly stream for Operation Metaverse. That's the channel name. You just search Operation Metaverse in YouTube. And we stream on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. It's been tons of fun. The stream has been growing in leaps and bounds, and we love doing that. We are also we release what we do on the stream is we've been a little bit behind lately because I was on vacation, but we'll release a footage like never before seen footage on the stream, and then I'll make a video of it and release it after the fact, so everybody who's on the stream gets to see it first as a little exclusive. Everybody who comes to the stream, and then we also have actually our Nerf Herders is on hold right now. We have one of our members is going back to school, and another one had some real life stuff come up and let us know that he wasn't able to continue a week ago or so. So we are on hold with that. So we might just do that kind of sporadically. We can't do it on Thursday nights anymore. So it might be maybe on the weekends we'll pop up every once in a while.
Sure. All right. Dr. Finn, I'm a little talked out, so why don't you pimp our stuff?
Okay. So and then I'll make one other announcement at the end.
Sure.
So thank you all for watching. This is Jedi Academy on the Reality Skewed Gamers channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell so you can get notifications when we do different live streams. On Wednesday, we do our weekly Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes live stream where we go through the news and notes from the past week and give you guys an update on what's happening and what you can do in order to prepare for all the things that are happening. During the week, on weekdays, Monday through Friday, during lunch hours at 12 p.m. Eastern time, we do the lunch stream where we just have some fun. We do some roster reviews. We talk to you guys, entertain you during the doldrums of the workday. So make sure that you guys join us for that. Now, the announcement that I wanted to make now, when you guys are done and ready to log out of this video, I'm putting a link in the YouTube chat. Capital Games is doing their Extra Life initiative right now.
Mm-hmm.
They started live just about 12 minutes ago. So everyone, please make sure that you go there, you help, you watch and stuff. I don't know if you saw it. SB Crumb made a little video kind of that I think is going to play throughout this stuff. He has some mutton chops on him. It's actually pretty interesting to see. So go ahead and join onto the Twitch for the Capital Games Extra Life initiative that they're going on right now, and help them raise money for UC Davis Children's Hospital.
There you go. Let's support the cause. Let's get our skewers out there and help support that.
And you can actually, if you want to donate to the cause, you can actually donate to the children's hospital nearest you. So if you go to the donate page, it'll actually ask you like what city you're in, and then it'll just bring up, for me, it's Alberta's Children's Hospital. And so they're raising money for this hospital, but you can contribute to whatever children's hospital that you want to if you want to make a donation.
That's right. All right. So thank you guys for joining us on the Jedi Academy. Really appreciate you all being here. Remember, tomorrow we got our Dungeons and Dragons campaign we've been doing, and we will continue that as well. And in between, we also do some Borderlands and Battlefront and some other stuff. Make sure you guys support these guys. Listen, they come here every Saturday. They answer your questions. They help put out great content, not just for us. Subscribe to us because you love the content and give us a thumbs up, but also, go to their channels and support them as well. They do amazing work, and they take time out of their schedules, to answer your questions and be here. So at least you can do is to support them in return. And that's the best way to support them, is watch their videos, leave comments, subscribe, give them a thumbs up. Let's help the entire community grow. That's what it's all about. So on behalf of myself and the wonderful Jedi Academy, thank you all for being here. We hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we will holler at you later.